Hi, everybody. Welcome back to this, the fourth installment of the Tampa Native Show. Alongside my broadcast partner, Steve Canella, I'm Mario Nunez, and we're so happy that you're there with us. We know that this week we've got a lot of first-time viewers, and we just like to say thank you for being there and being with us today. How you feeling, Steve?
Mario, I feel great. This is so exciting to be here again on our fourth show of the series. It's amazing.
It's a 14-week series, Steve.
Oh, it's unbelievable. And you know, I just want to thank each and everyone for calling and for watching. It's bringing back so many memories, not for you all, but also for us. And you know, the tagline of our show is sharing your memories has never been this much fun. And I have to say, Mario, we're having a lot of fun, aren't we?
We're having an incredibly good time, and I'm having even a better good time now that I saw you use those air quotes for the first time, because that was funny. I mean, that was good stuff. Listen, we have to acknowledge our viewers, because last week, truly, we were overwhelmed. I mean, the calls, once we opened up the lines, went nonstop for a good 45 minutes of the show. So much so that we ran a little bit short on the end. And we did receive, Steve, we received a lot of emails. We have to acknowledge those people, because last week's topic, as you recall, was what did you do with your Saturday mornings growing up in Tampa? Well, they were so varied and so wonderful. We've got some emails. We need to acknowledge those people, and we'd like to read those now.
Absolutely.
All right.
And Mario, before we start reading those, you mentioned we heard the calls that came in. There were so many of them.
Oh my goodness.
Well, the thing is, it was amazing. We can hear in the voices of the callers the passion that they had for the memories of Tampa.
Absolutely.
And it was just so exciting to hear that. It made it even that much more fun for all of us.
Well, it's inspiring for your host, certainly, and I can't believe it's Wednesday again. Here we go.
It's unbelievable.
Let's go ahead and start with Steve. Take the first email.
Okay, this is from Rebecca Williams. She wrote in on email. Gonzalo Martinez, remember Saturday AM Ayers Diner on Del Mirby in Cypress.
Mike Baluja writes, my short list of Saturday activities while growing up in Tampa. Waking up earlier than usual and watching Red Ryder, The Lone Ranger, Hopalong Cassidy, Roy Rogers, Gene Autry, The Little Rascals, Three Stooges, or whatever lineup was on the big three networks. There's a list about this long. Mike Baluja, thank you so much. We just want to tell you that we remember going to the Cash and Carry on Saturdays as well, and the Sportatorium Mike mentions as also. Steve?
I definitely remember that. Here's another email. It says, Mario and Steve, I also had to get up early to see Tarzan every Saturday. But unlike Steve, I couldn't wait to hear Ernie Lee sing one of his old songs. I got to play his guitar at the fair one year when I was about 6 or 7 years old. He saw me watching him intently and asked if I played. And when I said yes, he brought me up on stage, and I'm still playing today. Enjoying the show online from Montgomery, Alabama, John Ziggy Lewis. Great email.
Ziggy Louise. Ray and Julie Canton. Julie and her sisters and all the girls who grew up in the Baycrest neighborhood of Town and Country spent Saturday mornings as football cheerleaders at Skyway Park. Then in high school, many of them spent their weekends working the concessions at Soccerama, which was owned by the Frumorgans. Remember, unclaimed freight is great.
I remember that.
Steve?
Here's another one from Mike White. Hey guys, Mike White here. Been trying to get through on the phone. They were going crazy, and they were. In my younger years, I had to get up at the crack of dawn and get ready for Mighty Mouse with my little buddy John Hester, and then a little later in the years, it was the Three Stooges. But best Saturdays were our neighborhood military moms taking us out to the base pool. Then, as soon as our brothers and sisters could drive, we were at Ben T. Davis Beach. That all ended when my dad bought me my first lawnmower and at least the grass growing season. See you at BB Sunday. Have fun and thanks.
Sue Ann Peruli writes, I have sweet memories of going to Plant Park, University of Tampa, and buying peanuts from the Peanut Man. There's some quotes.
Oh, yeah.
The Peanut Man, and feeding the squirrels with my dad. When I got older, it was Drew Park Civic Center and doing ceramics. But who can forget the skating rink on Armenia? And on Saturday mornings, you'd meet kids from all over the area. By the way, I remember on a sad note that the Peanut Man was robbed and murdered. That was quite a story back then. Thanks, Sue Ann. Libby Nunez writes, good evening, Steve and Mario. Great to see you on the air. First to you, Mario, that's me. Your hair looks great. Who does your hair? Well, that's a hair reference right there early in the show. My Saturday memory was getting ready for Bandit Ball. My estranged father worked for the Bucks on the net crew back in the day and for the Bandits. I have a memory of Burt Reynolds and Rick McKay when I was a child, running around the field at the Sombrero, and then at the party across the street, which is now Channel 10 Studios, I believe. It's actually Channel 11, Channel 28, with the Q Zoo. And the Tookie Bird. Remember that guy?
I remember that.
Love you guys and keep up the great work. Libby, Jefferson grad, Dickinson Elementary School. Steve.
Well, this one was from Davian Benito. Great show. Are you related to Norman Canella that played football at Plant in the mid-'80s? And actually, Davian, not quite related, although I do get that question asked to me a lot. If you go back maybe 100 years or so, we may be related distantly. But
I bet you were.
We probably are.
How about the next one, Steve?
Okay, looks like this was from Susan Edgerly. I called earlier regarding the Sportatorium on Saturday mornings. Great job. And so many happy memories recalled. Thank you so much. By the way, Ted Webb tipped me off to the show. God bless. And by the way, it's not Susan Edgerly that wrote this. She wrote the next one, but this was from Hugh Perrette in Tampa.
Thank you, Hugh Perrette. Steve.
And Susan Edgerly writes, hi guys, great show. Saturday mornings in Tampa was spent watching cartoons and running around Davis Island and going to the drugstore to have milkshakes at the soda fountain and movies at Tampa Theater. Those were the days. Keep up the good work, Susan.
Rebecca Williams writes back, hey Mario, are you coloring your hair? It's extremely black. Now this is the second hair reference on this show, and I tell you what, no, Rebecca, I'm not. It's actually quite black.
And it is black.
It's dark brown.
It's pretty dark.
But it looks black. Lori Cooper writes, number 63. That's her lucky number, Steve.
That's
Remember
right.
that.
That's right.
She says, great show. Loved it. And this is one of my favorites. Cynthia Garcia Tamargo writes, all the way from Hong Kong. Now this is pretty cool,
This is
Steve.
awesome.
Cynthia was traveling last week. She writes, homesick from Hong Kong. Trying so hard to log in, no luck. Firewall is stopping me. Sorry. Saturday morning cartoons and then American Bandstand. Thank you, Cynthia. Steve?
This is from Mike Padrinin. Haven't had this much fun in a while. Great job. Mike gives us his lucky number, and that's it for that one. Mario, one more.
One more, and this is from John Anise. And this is a reference to a comment that I made last week about a show that a movie that I had just watched before we went on the air that day called Pirate Radio. He says, in the late 60s, I had a friend in London. He was from the Isle of Man. They were a wealthy family. He is the person who started Pirate Radio. The actual name back then was Radio Caroline. I'm a native. Family made cigars. Gracias, Anise and Company on 18th Street. Thanks, John Anise. Listen, this is just a sampling of what we experienced last week. And we want to say again, thank you so much for those that participated. We also want to encourage you to write back this week because really and truthfully, Steve and I were talking before the show. It's kind of the only way we can gauge on what our viewing audience is out there. Now, we know, because we're hearing from a lot of people, Steve, that everybody's watching, but we don't really know what numbers. Let's give them the email address and tell them what that is.
You know, Mario, it is kind of hard to gauge, so this will help. But the email address is show@tampanatives.com. So please send us your feedback throughout the week. You know, show@tampanatives.com. Give us input on the show. Also, maybe suggestions for future topics.
Yeah, if you have something that you haven't heard us talk about yet, of course, we're only 4 weeks into the 14-week season, but if you've got a special subject that you'd like to see us cover, don't be afraid to kind of make that suggestion. We'll take that under advisement. We have our production meeting usually during the week. Listen, Steve and I and Jeff Haynes, our producer, we put a little bit of time in this, and there are other people that are coming up and showing up now that are helping us. Mike Baluha comes to mind as well, that are giving us a big push and a big helping hand. So if you've got a suggestion, don't be afraid to send that to us. We'd love to hear from you.
And you know, Mario, and speaking of special topics too, Mario and I put a lot of thought into the topics for the show each week. And I don't think we're ever going to run out of topics to talk about because there's so many things to discuss about Tampa's history, Tampa's memories. And I think what it has to do is basically that we have such a unique history here in Tampa, and the memories are a strong tie to that Tampa experience. So given that, I mean, we're not going to have any problems coming up with topics at all. We could do this for probably years without running out of topics to talk about.
And that's my hope.
Oh, yeah.
That's my hope, to be here for years. How about you, Steve?
Oh, I agree. I think so.
Well, listen, shall we go ahead and bring them up to speed and let them know what our topic is going to be this week so we can open up the lines? Because we know there's a lot of people out there that are probably waiting to call in.
Let's do that.
Want me to do that?
Absolutely.
All right.
Okay.
I'll take the lead. Well, last week we talked about what did you do with your Saturday mornings growing up in Tampa. This week we'd like to talk about all those wonderful dining establishments from our youth. Your favorite diner, your favorite restaurant, your favorite cafeteria or sandwich shop. And you don't have to limit it to sandwich shop or cafeteria. If you had a favorite ice cream store, ice cream shop, lunch counter that you remember fondly, we'd like to hear from you. We're also going to be showing you some graphics this week behind us. And as you can see, we've already got one behind us. This is vintage photography from the 1930s. I'm guessing late 30s or early 40s by that vehicle that's in the photo. And this is, of course, Morrison's Cafeteria.
And Mario, this is about the 600 block roughly of Florida Avenue. And as you can see, they're advertising air conditioned too.
That's what caught my eye first. The fact that you see right there, I mean, it probably was a big draw back then.
Oh, yeah.
People probably were excited just to get out of the heat.
New technology.
Well, Morrison's Cafeteria. Steve, what was your favorite experience when you were young growing up?
Well, I'll tell you what, I have a lot of good restaurants that I remember in Tampa growing up, but my favorite was Morrison's Cafeteria.
Well, how timely is that graphic?
Oh, it was perfect. It wasn't planned that way actually, but it worked out
that's
perfect.
True.
But Anyway, I remember going as a kid with my family to the Morrisons or the one on Southdale Mabry, and sometimes we go to the one on Hillsborough Avenue. I think it was in the Zayres Shopping Center, if I'm not mistaken. And
Westgate.
Was it Westgate? Okay, there you go. But it was just phenomenal memories. I mean, I could still hear the sounds. I could still smell the foods. I can almost taste the food. The ambiance is just incredible. You know, in fact, it was a procedure every time we went, and basically we'd go in, get our trays, we'd get ready to slide them down the aisle, and there were certain stops along the way. The first stop was the salads. It was Jell-O, it was salad, but my favorite was carrot raisin salad. I just loved that, and I got that every time. Next stop was fish almondine. It was the main entrees. And fish almondine with a double tartar sauce on top. Oh, it was just, I could taste it to this day.
Yep.
Oh,
I'm right there with you, Steve.
It doesn't stop, though.
I'm right there with you.
As we go further down the line, we have desserts. No. I forgot one step. We have vegetables, and I would always get the green beans, the macaroni and cheese. And the macaroni and cheese had like a little layer of burnt cheese on the top. And I love that, you know. And that was the best part of it. And then a little bit beyond that, we had chocolate pie. Did you ever have chocolate pie there, Mario?
I think I had the big wedge of chocolate cake. I know that chocolate was a big family favorite.
Well, they had a pie, too. And then after that, I would get the iced tea. And then one thing that always caught my eye, too, was how the cashier would always stick a little receipt to our water glass or our tea glass.
Right.
So it wouldn't blow off as you walk with your tray.
Right.
And one thing, and I was young at the time, but what amazed me was how did the waiters know when one family ended in the line and the other family started?
Like we couldn't figure that out.
How do they know? There's 6 in our family, you know? It was just amazing to me. But anyway, that was just a great memory of former restaurants. And so please call in if you have any restaurants you want to, share with us. And
let's put that number up there, Jeff, and give them a chance to get that call. Steve, tell them what that number is.
That number is 813-254-7820. 813-254-7820. Give us a call and tell us your story.
And while we're waiting for those calls to ring, I'll tell you my experience. My experience was a cafeteria as well, only mine was in Ybor City, and it was called Mercedes Cafeteria. And I can remember being a little guy. We've got a caller already. I can remember being a little guy. And I couldn't manage my tray a lot of times because I was too little, but I can remember seeing the food as we passed by. And, of course, we ate a lot of Spanish food in my house as well. But I'm telling you right now, the black beans were incredible. The boliche was out of sight. I mean, and of course, the sights, the sounds, like you're saying, the fact that the dining room was the way it was set up, the way it was, I can close my eyes and I'm there now. Also, a wink and a nod to the pizza parlor, which was on Dale Mabry and Gray Street. And that was a fabulous place to have a meal with your family. We've got 2 callers on. Without any further ado,
awesome.
Let's go to line 4. Caller, you're on the air. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Sam, and I'm calling from Tampa.
Hi, Sam.
Hi, Sam.
How are you?
Good, thank you.
Okay, not too bad. I remember growing up as a kid, one of my favorite restaurants, actually 2, was the Columbia restaurant and the Goody Goody downtown.
Oh.
Very good, very good. Tell us what you remember about the, the Columbia, of course, is still there. Tell us the Goody Goody. What do you remember about the Goody Goody?
Well, I can remember eating outside of the restaurant and afterwards feeding French fries to the seagulls.
Oh, wow.
Very nice.
That's interesting.
To the seagulls, correct? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Now, once you start feeding the seagulls, they never go away.
They tell everybody.
That's correct.
I mean, you can experience that today at the beach. Just take a box of popcorn with you and feed one.
That's right.
And then good luck. Well, Sam, listen, is this your first time calling?
Yes, it is.
Wonderful. We're glad. How did you hear about our show, Sam?
Actually, I'm watching it right now as we speak, and I was going through the channels on TV, and I just thought I'd give you a call.
That's awesome.
That's great. Hey, listen, Sam, we're here every week at the same time, 9 o'clock, and we'd love to hear back from you again.
And thanks for being the first caller.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sam.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Thanks, you too. Line 5.
Caller, you're on the air. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Hey, this is Andy from Palm River.
Hey, Andy.
How are you doing?
Hey, doing great. How y'all tonight?
Great.
Andy, did you grow up here in Tampa? I'm assuming that you did, and even if you didn't lie to us, tell us you did, because that's the nature of our show. Tell us your favorite restaurant experience.
Well, actually, I got 2 real quick.
Okay.
Good.
My grandfather worked a barber shop that was next door to the Columbia.
Okay.
Remember, as a child, being able to go in and pick out my own pastry.
Nice.
And then a little later on, mullets in for smoked shrimp.
Oh, my.
Whoa.
Mullet in. That's a first mullet in reference this evening. Yeah, we compiled a big, long list. We're not going to bore anybody with those details, but I'm telling you, we did our research this week, and the mullet in certainly on that little strip of causeway there, the causeway going towards Clearwater, that was there for a long time, and a lot of people remember that. Andy.
And that was great.
How did you find our show, Andy? This is a first-time caller. How did you find our show?
Actually,
Through Facebook.
Okay.
Nice.
That's the Grill Beachmaster White.
Oh, okay,
okay.
Andy. Well, listen, we hope to see you there at that little get-together, if that's what you're referring to. You know, that'd be all right. That'd be okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, see y'all Sunday.
Andy,
Thanks, Andy.
Thanks for being our second caller today, Andy. Thank you so much. Wonderful. Let's go to line 4
great.
right quick. We've got somebody on line 4. Let's not let them wait. Caller, you're on the air. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Hi, my name is Karen, and I'm calling from Land O'Lakes, Florida.
Hi, Karen.
Karen.
How are you?
I'm great. How are y'all?
Excellent.
Good.
Excellent.
Exciting.
Karen, are you watching us on TV or are you watching us on the computer?
I'm watching you on TV.
Good. You
Good.
must be close to the county line. Wonderful. Karen, first time calling?
First time calling. Can't wait to talk about Millians and Failers.
Oh, my. Millie Ann's, and what was the second one?
Taylors?
Oh, Taylor. Now, see, Taylor's, I didn't have that on my list. I did have Millie Ann's. That was on Florida and Lake, if I'm not mistaken, at least the one that we went to. Is that the one you're referring to?
Pardon me?
The Millie Ann's, is that the one you're referring to? The one I remember was a chicken place, correct?
The Millians, yeah, but back in the 50s, you went for burgers and fries and shakes. You didn't go
Oh.
chicken so much. They got more into the chicken later, but and just a little further south, down on Florida Avenue, was Failors, Faylors.
Nice.
Also burgers and shakes. My dad worked at the Charlie Libby car lot
Okay.
Friday nights, and we would go to Failors or Millians and eat. And then as we got older, of course, we went to the Redwood. So all these places are just so awesome to think about. You guys are doing such a great job.
Thank you.
We really appreciate that very, very much, Karen. Listen, we understand that, you know, from last week's calls and from early on in the show this week, people are really connecting with the whole idea, and we're pleased as can be.
Absolutely.
And real happy to be bringing it to you guys. Thanks for calling tonight, Karen.
Absolutely.
Thanks for being our third caller
Thanks,
tonight.
Karen.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Wonderful. Steve,
Let's
line
go.
5.
Caller, you're on the air. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
This is Richard. I'm calling from Orlando.
Hi,
Hey,
Richard.
Richard, how are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. I'm from Tampa, native,
Awesome.
Wonderful.
and I want to talk about Falgi's Restaurant.
Falgi's.
All
There's
right.
our first Falgi's
All right.
reference tonight.
Okay.
I had that on my list, by the way. I've got a few South Tampa Survivor friends out there that remember Falgi's. Tell us your memory.
Yes, Falgi's Restaurant. Beef chips over noodles, but the dessert called Fantastic that they had. It was layered. It was a chocolate with whipped cream and a pudding, and it was layered, and it was called Fantastic. And it
Wow.
was just that. And
Sounds fantastic.
Pardon me while I wash that down there. That was pretty good description right there, Richard. That's very good.
I'm getting
it
hungry,
was great.
too.
But I heard about you guys. A good friend of mine, Gary Eppolito, who's I went to school with, and
We know Gary.
Gary's a dear friend, and he's convalescing. He's nursing that knee surgery. We wish him
Yeah.
speedy recovery. And in fact, I'll give you a little insider information. Richard, we saw him today, so lots of love going out to Gary. Richard, thanks so much. Keep up with us. We're here every Wednesday from 9 to 10, so if you're home, tune us in, and we'll be talking about all kinds of things that, you know, are near and dear to our hearts when we grew up here in Tampa.
Absolutely.
well, do you have a blessed day? Thank you.
You too.
Thank you, Richard.
too.
Thank you
Same to
so much. Caller, you're on the air. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Hi, my name is Dan Perez, and I'm calling from West Tampa.
Dan Perez.
This is big,
This
Dan.
is is Dan the man.
This is Dan O. Dan the man. How you doing, Danny?
So, Lando Luz, Dano.
Dan, that's so good to hear from you, Dan.
Good to hear from you, Papa. Tell us, and I know you know them all, and you have great memories. Which ones stand out?
I guess I better turn down my TV because the time delay is throwing me off.
Yeah, no. Talk to us. Talk to your phone. Look away from the TV.
I got one for you.
Tell me.
Okay.
The Mexican burro when it wasn't on fire.
I'm
Now,
sure.
you're not referring to the
food.
strength of the hot sauce, right? You're not talking about the hot sauce.
I'm about the hot sauce. I'm talking about
The actual burning of the building. Oh wow.
Okay. Good memory, Dan.
Danny, okay, now Danny remembers, because you know Danny remembers. Tell us when the burro caught fire, Dan. Go ahead.
Oh, boy, you got me on that one. I know when they closed.
Were we in high school yet?
Closed in 91.
In 91, so
91.
yeah, that was later. Okay.
Yeah. I'm not sure when the fires were, but I do remember hearing about it.
That's pretty good.
Couple of them.
Did you have a favorite entree there, or
Oh,
you know?
yeah,
Well,
the
let's
chips
go.
and the salsa.
That's it?
Yeah.
I mean, there probably was chimichanga, burritos, and
Oh,
whatever
yeah.
else, but did you?
And, oh, the guacamole, too. But, you know, if it was up to me, of course, you know, I was a kid when I was there.
Sure.
If I was my dad, I'd just go there and eat the chips and the salsa and then get up and leave.
But Dad made you eat the whole entrada. You had to eat a meal. I'm sure. It's all right.
Because that was free, you know?
Sure, sure.
I remember the ceiling, how it was draped with just all kinds of Mexican tapestries and stuff like that. And the checkout, when you checked out, there was always the big bowl of bubble gum there by the cash.
Wow.
You see how this
See,
show.
see the
how
details you
yeah,
remember?
yeah.
The little details.
That's what we're finding out as the show continues to evolve, Danny. That memories start to come, and then they start. Once you
It's a
open,
flood.
as they used to say in my neighborhood, the pila. Once the pila gets open, then here comes everything back, and sight, sound, smell. All you engage all senses, and of course we know your writing skills are pretty adept, Danny. So it surprises no one that you would remember all those details.
Well,
man.
you know what? And the wallpaper, it was made out of burlap, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
Of sacks.
Wow.
Well, that makes sense
That
because
makes-
that all adds to the
Mexican
ambiance,
burro.
right? Mexican
Yeah.
burro. What would the Mexican burro have on his back but a big
sack.
bag of
Yeah.
a sack of
Burlap.
burlap?
Yeah.
Danny,
Well,
we're,
you're doing a great job. I'm enjoying the show.
Good,
and
Daniel.
Mario,
Thank you.
nice hair. I like it.
listen, does it look black on screen? Because apparently it does, according to Rebecca.
You know what it is? I think it's the resolution on the in the green.
Oh, yeah, it's a lot of resolution, all right. I got more resolution than I can handle right here. Oh, yeah, that's the Zycheks behind us, by the way, if I'm not mistaken. Let me take off. No, that's the Columbia
That's
restaurant.
Columbia right there.
Columbia.
I've got my
Right.
glasses on. I can't see distance. They're for reading. But yeah, that's the Columbia, circa 1940s. I'm going to kind of scooch out of the way, Stevie. You do the same. Look at that car in the front. It's a taxi
Wow,
right
look
there.
at
Look
that.
at that car right there. That's really a neat picture. That's from the 1940s.
That's 40s, you can
Danny,
tell.
we got another caller. We're going to let you go.
Right.
But hey, we're here every Wednesday. Please call us back anytime.
We'll do
Thanks for
that.
calling,
Thanks for all
Danny.
your contributions to the show, Danny.
Yeah, thank you, Danny.
See ya.
Take care.
He's awesome.
He's our chief researcher.
He's-
We
he's
can't
a-
do it without Danny.
He's more than a history buff.
No, he's wonderful.
He's an expert.
Stevie?
Caller, you're on the air. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Gail, and I'm from Tampa.
Hi, Gail.
Hi, Gail.
How you doing?
Just great. I want to stretch your memory back to the Sulphur Springs Arcade.
Wonderful.
Okay,
Wonderful. Gail,
great.
did you grow up in that area, or did you just frequent that area?
Yes, I grew up. We moved down from Pensacola, Florida, to Sulphur Springs, and I remember as a little girl, my father was a merchant, Sulphur Springs area, and our thrill for my sister and I was to go down on our bicycles on Saturday morning to the Sulphur Springs Arcade to Whitehead's Pharmacy.
Wow. There's some details right
memories.
there.
Good memories.
There's some
Yes.
wonderful details. And I'm so glad you're calling because, Steve and I grew up in different parts of town, and we have our recollections from West Tampa and far West Tampa and central Tampa, and then later the Hillsborough kind of Sly and Armenia area. But we don't have a lot of people that have called in to date. You're the first one,
I think
Gail,
she is.
that's called in and just giving us the recollections of that Sulphur Springs area, which was vibrant back, in
Oh,
the
yeah.
30s, 40s, and even 50s, So thank you so much for sharing. Anything else from that Sulphur Springs area you want to share with us, or any other area for that matter?
Well, the early 50s were very, very special to us because we did have the arcade at that time. And as a little girl, since you're reviewing restaurants and food of that nature, our thrill was to go down with our father on Saturday morning around 11:30 to 12 o'clock to Whitehead's Pharmacy and sit at their bar and share a grilled cheese sandwich. And then my sister and I to argue over whether or not we would share a piece of chocolate pie or lemon pie, which was homemade at that time.
Wow, of
That's
course it was.
awesome.
We would have expected it would only be homemade back then. What tremendous memories. Thank you so much. Listen, we can hear it in your voice. I mean, Steve and I sit here every week and we discuss it after the show and all week long, that when our callers, our viewers and our callers are sharing with us, and we had a feeling this was going to happen, the emotion comes out in your voices. And it's very touching, and it's very rewarding for Steve and myself to be able to provide our friends, our neighbors, and those people that grew up with us here in Tampa the opportunity to share. So, Gail, thank you so much for that heartwarming memory. We appreciate it.
Well, a comment to that effect is I wish that more and more people in the Tampa Bay area would take advantage of shows of which you are giving to us to relive the old memories, because slowly but surely they are disappearing.
That's true.
We're going to do all.
That's true.
We're going to do all that we can to stay on the air as long as we can, to continue to provide you with this opportunity, this platform. Steve and I talked about it earlier today. We don't think that there's any shortage of topics. You know, we're connected through a social networking site on the computer at the current time. But this medium here, through your television and the computer, for those people that are watching us on their laptops and on their desktops, is another viable means. What we have to figure out a way to reach out to those that don't know that we're here and let them know. So Gail, promise us that you will this week maybe call 2 or 3 of your friends and say, hey, you got to check out this show because these 2 guys are doing this thing, and we're going to continue to do that.
Right.
Well, I started a neighborhood association where I live.
Nice.
Where I grew up originally here in Forest Hills area.
Okay.
And it's amazing the number of people that are coming back to the area and want to be remembered, things to be shared. So I applaud your effort, and I hope you can have continued success.
Well, Gail, thank you for calling in and also sharing your memories with us and your stories. That's awesome.
And you're giving us more motivation than you can imagine. We'll be here for as long as they allow us to. Thank you so much, Gail.
Wonderful. Good evening.
Good evening to you.
Good evening.
That was great.
That was great, wasn't it, Mario?
That was amazing. I got chills on that call because you could just hear that. You know, that was a woman who's been here for a good long while. You know, just telling the story of you know, going to the lunch counter with her dad and her sister. I mean, she was there.
And it's just a simple thing. Just going to the lunch counter, ordering the grilled cheese sandwich, and in fact, I'm getting hungry with all these stories coming in.
That's true.
If you hear a noise, it's my stomach growling. But anyway, it's just the simple things like that in life that people remember, and they're reliving those memories. It's just great, and it is rewarding.
Very much so.
You get the nail on the head.
Hey, let's reference that picture behind us. I'll take off my glasses so I can see it better. That would be one Pickford's drugstore.
That is.
Drugs and Sundries. The building is still there, if I'm not mistaken. And as recently as a couple of years ago, it was refurbished and painted anew and worked from the inside out. They got new floors and I believe it's a
bakery now.
Is it a bakery?
It's a bakery, right? In fact, see the sign, the old sign? It's the same sign is there. They refurbished the sign, and they kept that original, but totally renovated the whole place, and it just got so much history there. But
well, I'm glad that we've got Tampa Steve on site to be able to fill us in with the information. And if you can see the cars there, that gives you a pretty good indication.
It does.
That's probably, Stevie, would you say that's late 40s, maybe early 50s?
Yeah, I'd say late 40s, early 50s for sure. And
you know, when Tampa much beyond Hillsborough Avenue was probably as far as the city limits went, and then you know, these are the times that we're referencing, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, and those fabulous memories.
Pickford's was right on Hillsborough, just about a block off of Armenia.
Armenia, right?
Just east of Armenia, right, near the shopping center, the old Western Auto.
Wow, Western Auto.
Remember that?
Well, you know, you say Western Auto. And I know this is a little bit off topic, but I'll just reference this real quickly. You say Western Auto, and it's like the experiment with Pavlov's dogs. You know, you ring in a bell, and I start to salivate. You say Western Auto, and I smell rubber.
And you know what?
I smell rubber.
And I see bicycle.
That's what I'm saying, because I remember the Western Auto that was on sale. Off topic.
I got my first bicycle.
Forgive me, Tampa. Off topic a little bit. But opening the doors, the rush of air conditioning, and then the rush of that smell of rubber, because on one side of the walls were the tires for the car, and then all the bicycles were over here.
See what I'm saying? There's no end to the memories here. There's just no end to it. Hey, we're getting another call. Well, we lost the caller.
Call back. We saw you there. We got 2 lines open, so if you're wondering if now would be a good time to call, you certainly can. In the meantime, Steve and I are going to continue to talk about smelling the rubber at Western Auto. Steve, this would be a good time to check for emails. You know what? You got anything coming in?
We do have an email. This is very interesting. In fact, Fran Costantino, who we actually had lunch with today.
Hi, Fran.
Hi, Fran. See you out there. She writes, I worked for John Furmorgan for approximately 15 years. Unclaimed freight is great.
Wow, that's
Can you believe that?
Well, you know, the connections we were talking about earlier today at lunch.
It's amazing.
How everybody's connected. Look at that. We, you know, how would we have known that?
And Fran Costantino, she's the unofficial mayor of Ybor City, but she's a wonderful,
and she's
wonderful
our
lady.
friend.
Yes.
Hi, Fran. Hey, we've got 2 callers.
Awesome.
Let's go right back to the lines. Caller, you're on the air. Tell us your name.
This is Dory from Tampa.
Hi, Dory.
How you doing?
Good to talk to you, Dory. Tell us what part of town you're calling from.
I'm here in Tampa, in Carrollwood, and I was calling because right now I'm watching you guys, and I see the restaurant Pickford's, but across the street, there was a restaurant that we used to go to all the time. It was called Angie's Pizza.
Oh.
You know, I referenced that here. Dory, do I know you, by the way? Is this the Dory that I think it is? You want to give us your last name?
Requelm.
It's Dory.
That's Dory Pullman.
Yes, it was.
Yep.
Dory, listen, the Angies you referenced, we used to go there after our high school football games, Jefferson High School, middle 70s, because, and correct me if I'm wrong, you're familiar with Angie's, yes?
Of course, we used to go there every Friday and Saturday.
Okay, Friday after the football games, we would go there. And why did we go there? Because I've never seen a pizza that big in my life. Maybe I'm just having a flashback, but it was so big it didn't even fit on the table.
I know.
It cost $2. It was probably the worst pizza ever. But when you're in high school and you can eat everything and you eat a lot of everything, it was enormous, wasn't it?
Oh, but I loved it. I loved that pizza.
It was good. It was good.
Oh,
I'm being facetious.
We used to go there, and of course we used to go to Shakey's Pizza.
Okay, there's your Shakey's reference.
All right.
We're waiting at 30 minutes into the show. How long it was going to take to get a Shakey's reference?
That's
And of course, you just put right there, Burger Queen.
Look at that! Look at that graphic. That's a nighttime neon graphic. That's
that.
pretty cool.
Yeah, Burger Queen.
Look how expensive those hamburgers were.
No, listen. Break the bank.
Yeah, it was
19
awesome.
cents. Can you handle that?
Dory, you mentioned Shakey's Pizza. That brings back a lot of memories, doesn't it, for a lot of us?
Oh yes, definitely. Steve and I went to Hillsborough High School, and that was our hangout.
After all the football games, that's where we went.
On Florida,
Oh,
right?
on Florida Avenue, right over the hump.
Avenue.
Right at Florida and Waters. It was great.
Yes, yes, and actually they're opening a lot of Shakey's in other states now.
Are they really?
Yes.
We looked into that earlier on when Steve and I had flights of fancy of being restaurateurs, and we thought, you know, with so many people remembering Shakey's and the wonderful experience, why don't you and I join forces and open up a Shakey's? And then of course, we went to the website and saw the franchising fee and say, why don't we have a TV show instead? Because
I know, I saw the...
I mean, you know, you can make that money back, but my goodness, you got to have too much money to start that.
No, I saw that too. I
Yeah.
saw it a few days ago.
Yeah, really. Well, plus we didn't know who we were going to get to play the piano, you know. So.
Yeah, because Naki Parker, there's a Naki Parker reference. We don't know where he is anymore, but that was, you know what that was? That was Chuck E. Cheese before there was Chuck E. Cheese. Am I right on that?
Yes, 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 I think you are.
You go to have your birthdays there. They played cartoons. They had those big wooden benches. I remember later on when we could drink beer, the cold beers and the big mugs. It was a great
Yeah,
place.
my father used to be drinking the beers, and we were with the pizza.
Seguro, all of us. It was the same way. Listen, Dory, thank you so much for calling.
Thank you, Mario.
Call back anytime, okay?
Thank you.
Bye,
Thank
Dory.
you, Dory.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, we lost our caller.
Oh,
It was
no.
right there. Caller, call back.
Yeah, please call back.
Got a line open. Now look at that sign there.
Oh, wow.
Okay? Biff Burger. If we could see the whole picture, well, I'm going to ask Jeff to take us out and take the graphic out so we could see the whole picture, because this is important. Jeff, would you do that for us? Because I want everybody to see this. You can still hear us, and Jeff's going to get us out of there, because if you see in the background there, we had a lot of conversation on that social networking site about what that building was in the background. And actually that building, later came to light, is the Plant High School Gymnasium. Okay, that's Plant High School circa 1950s, late 50s, or at best early 60s. And here's a trivia question for all you trivia buffs out there. Steve, you know the answer, so you can't play.
Okay, I won't tell you.
What does the acronym BIF stand for? And don't Google it. You got 25 minutes left in the show. Do not Google this. What did BIF stand for? I'll give you a couple of minutes. We'll come back with that answer. But that's, again, 19 cents. My goodness. Thick shakes for 19 cents, charbroiled burgers. And Biff Burger had tremendous burgers. I remember they would butter the bun. They had one over by the 20th Century Drive-In, by the way, which was closer to where I lived. So we used to go there all the time. They'd put those buns on the grill, and they'd grill them a little bit so they were kind of crunchy, and then they'd put the cheeseburgers. And, of course, when you're a little kid, a little hamburger is a big thing back then. And their milkshakes were pretty, their thick milkshakes, they were pretty terrific.
Oh, yeah. Well, we got an email from Mike White, by the way.
Oh, Mike White,
Yeah,
okay.
he just mentioned that in South Tampa, he would go to Peter Dimmer's restaurant.
Okay.
And also, I'm just kind of abbreviating here, but Frisch's, Jerry's, Frisch's, Colonnade, Mirabella's, Las Novedades, and DePirios was one of his favorites.
Attaboy, Mike. Thank you for that, Peter. That's your first Peter Deemer's reference there.
Well, he also says he's gaining weight just remembering all these places. So,
Mike, thanks so much for participating
thanks,
tonight.
Mike.
We've got a couple of callers. Maybe one of these callers knows what Biff. Hey, look at that sign there. Look at that sign there.
wow, that's awesome. Caller, you're on the air. Tell us your name and where you're calling from. Hello, caller. You may want to turn your TV down just a little bit. We're hearing a little bit of an echo.
Caller, are you there?
Yeah, Steve, it's Gary.
Oh, hey, Gary.
Hey, Gary.
Hey, Mario, the dogs heard you.
I heard them too. Tell them I heard them too.
I'm in the man cave to get away from them.
All right, Gary, give us your restaurant du jour. What was your favorite dining experience back in the day?
I got to go back to Valencia Gardens and all the politicians that are here and about.
Salud and happy days,
Oh, yeah.
huh?
That was a classic.
Salute and happy days, which makes me think of Stacy's campaign today, so I had to throw that in there for you.
Listen, and by all means, check out the graphics behind us. There's going to be a graphic coming up that's a little bit special here in a few minutes. I'll ask you, do you know what the acronym BIFF in Biff Burger stood for?
Best in fast food.
Gary, did you Google that?
No, man,
Did we have that conversation earlier?
we did not.
All right, Gary, you win. Here's what you win, Gary.
Would I win?
A sip of water right here. I'm going to show you. Hey, Gary, can you give us, before we take the caller on line 5, can you give us a quick update on the game? I'm nervous about that.
It's a rain delay. We were winning 1-0.
Ah.
We'll take that.
Okay.
It's been bad the last 2 nights. Thank you.
Okay.
There's your obligatory cowbell ringing. Hey, Gary, we're going to...
One more thing real quick.
Yes, sir.
And I had all kind of Facebook stuff for you today.
Yes.
Even got Richard to call you all the way from Orlando today, so you're growing by leaps and bounds.
Wow. Thanks,
Thank you.
Gary.
Thank you for all your support, brother. We know you're out there. You're out there helping us, and we do appreciate that. Thank you so much, Gary.
That's awesome.
Take care, man.
You
Hey,
too.
Gary.
Hey, listen, we just went from the pizza parlor to the chicken pit. Now,
That's a big
I
change.
wanted to talk a little bit about the pizza parlor, but just know this. It was an unbelievable... There it is. Thank you so much, Jeff, for bringing that back up real
Yes.
quick. The pizza parlor was on the corner of Gray Street. Look at that sign. Watch for our opening. So if anybody's out there that remembers going to the pizza parlor when it first opened, please call us and let us know, because I'm guessing it opened late 50s, early 60s, because I have some good friends that used to go there all the time after their high school games. And look at that sign. That's sign,
amazing.
I see that sign, and I see the salad that was piled high and deep. I smell the pizza, and I hear the jukebox. Steve, they had
Oh,
a
yeah.
jukebox there.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
That for some reason the song "Popsicles and Icicles" sticks in my head.
And
I
that-
don't know why that is.
And that sign is so nostalgic too, with the neon lighting.
I
It
hated to
it's
see
so
that
cool.
place closed.
Oh, I
The
know.
building is still there, but now it's a
Oh, we have a call, Mario.
Japanese massage parlor. It's a far cry from the pizza parlor, I'll tell you. Back to the chicken pit and back to line 5.
Caller, you're on the air. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Hey, this is Robert. I'm calling from Tampa.
Hey, Robert.
I called my dad, told him to watch the show, and he called me back, and he wanted me to call you and tell you the Big Orange on Kennedy Boulevard. It was somewhere around Willow where the Furman Oldsmobile place used to be. So it was the first drive-in restaurant.
The Big Orange, you know,
remember
Robert, I had this conversation with my parents today, or earlier this week, and they mentioned that place as well, the Big Orange. I didn't write it down, but I'm so glad you mentioned it, because I'm going to include it with my master list here, which did not have the Big Orange.
Also, Ricky Acosta wanted me to tell you if you remembered 6 RC bottle caps and to watch the cartoons on Saturday morning at the Tampa Theater.
Yeah,
You tell Ricky
absolutely.
Acosta, you gave Ricky his shout out. You tell Ricky Acosta, seguro que sí, just like that.
All right, boss. We'll talk to you later.
Thank you,
Rob.
Robert. Thanks
Thanks,
for
Robert.
calling. We appreciate it. The Big Orange,
bye-bye.
brother. Bye-bye.
The Big Orange.
The Big Orange. I didn't have that
No,
one,
I
but
don't
I'm
remember
writing
that.
it right now. The Big Orange. Yes.
Okay, we do. Okay, and another picture there, the get and go.
This is a picture that
Yeah.
yeah, get us out of there, boss. Thank you. Look. This picture here, circa early 1960s, and I can only guess that because I'm looking at the
shoes.
The shoes, I'm looking at the peg pants, I'm looking at the button-down short-sleeve shirt. In the background, there's a goalpost. Now, if you're watching at home and you recognize yourself in that picture, please call us and tell us, hey, that's me. I think that may be around Chamberlain High School. I don't know why, but I have a premonition that maybe that's somewhere around North Boulevard back in the day. Chamberlain High School, North Boulevard, and Bush, correct? Am I correct?
I think you're right. And you know who would know for sure? Dan Perez.
Well, Danny, if you're out there, call us back if you know. And Mr. Testa, if you're out there watching, you call in and see if you recognize any of those fellas. Because I think that's what that was. Get and go entrance, drive-in. So apparently it was a drive-in and also seating inside. Looks like those students there might be in their high school years, 15, 16 years of age. The get and go.
What a different time, huh? Different era.
Oh my goodness.
Great memories. It brings back memories for me too. Just looking at that picture.
Just look at the style.
Yeah.
Look at what the
Yeah.
guys are with their short haircuts. I mean, that's pretty good stuff.
Oh, we have another caller.
Oh, let's take that call. Steve?
Caller, you're on the air. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Kent Jones. I'm calling from Lutz.
Hi, Kent.
Did you say Ken?
Kent.
Oh, Kent. All right. Hey, Kent, how are you?
Great. This is my first time seeing your show.
Oh, good.
Great.
Well,
How'd you
thanks.
find out about
Yeah.
us?
I just was going through and looking at the channels, and I think it's great. I'm a Tampa native myself.
Awesome.
Great, Kent.
Awesome.
Great. What part of town did you grow up in? Just curious.
Old Forest Hills.
There you
Oh,
go.
that's
There
a-
you go.
yeah,
Chamberlain
okay.
High School resident? I mean, graduate?
Yep, 73.
Attaboy.
Wow,
Hey,
okay.
did that last picture, did it look familiar at all to you? It might have been a little bit before us, it looks like, but
It looks like it's a rental place there now on the west side of the stadium. I'm not sure of it. I'll have to ask my brother. I have two older brothers, and they may recognize that place. I don't in particular. But I remember the Biff Burger there on Florida Avenue.
right? There was one on Florida. There was one, that one you saw in Southdale, maybe, and
Right.
the one that was close to Columbus Drive also. Biff Burgers were all over the place. There's only one, Kent, that remains, and it's in St. Pete. Believe that.
I'm told that. I'm curious if you or any of your callers remember the skating rink that was out on North Florida Avenue called Teen Town.
I don't myself,
don't
because
remember
I
that.
grew up kind of in the south side. I grew up, say, south of Cypress, between Cypress and Kennedy. So everything that I did within a few miles radius would have been south. Like I remember the roller gardens that was, in the Robinson district, the one that was down there by the Zares, if you recall that one. It was an outdoor skating rink. That one I remember.
Yeah, this one was outdoor.
Was it? Yeah, they had several
Okay.
outdoor
Yeah,
skating
there
rinks
was.
at the time.
Yeah, they did. It was 10 cents, as I remember.
Right.
Huh.
Yeah, it was pretty cheap.
Well, that's pretty fabulous stuff. Hey, Kent, listen, we really appreciate you calling in, and we're so pleased that you found us just kind of channel surfing. It's hard for me to believe that we're being found serendipitously channel surfing, but
Right.
you're not the first person that's called to tell us that. So we're being found out. Steve.
Exactly. And Kent, please continue to watch. Every Wednesday night we'll be here at 9 o'clock.
Okay, that's good, because I love Tampa. I've been here my whole life, and got a lot of family here and a lot of friends. It's a great place.
Tell all your
tell-
friends
yeah.
about the show, because we love to
Definitely
talk
do.
with them as well.
I'll sure do it.
Thank you so
And
much.
thank
Kent.
you for calling.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Boy, the calls are still coming in.
Well, let's go to line 5. Caller, you're on the air. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name's David. I'm calling from South Tampa.
Hi, David.
Hello, David.
The Ayers Diner that you were showing was on Kennedy Boulevard, right down the street from the Valencia Garden. That building in the background, I believe, was the Crescent apartment. It was apartment. They later became dorms, I think, the University of Tampa, but I'm pretty positive. Yep, there's the Folk Theater on the right, and that's on Kennedy Boulevard, that
Wow.
Ayers Diner. It later became the Star Diner.
Oh, very good. Thank you
Good.
for that reference.
That's-
We knew it was
that's
on
great.
Kennedy. We weren't quite exactly sure, but that seems to be that apex right there. Whoa, well, look at that.
Whoa,
Who just
oh,
came in
look
there?
at this.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Oh, David, that's our 15-minute girl. Don't let her freak you out. She freaks us out every week. We know she's going to show up at 15 minutes before the show's over, and she freaked us out
Every
again.
time.
But we knew that that visual there, that Ayers Diner, was somewhere close to that apex. Thank you for straightening us up on that. And how
That's-
did you find us, David?
I found it on Facebook, and I also wanted to mention the Old South Barbecue on Southdale, Mabry, Mac and Ivy's,
Oh,
Got Mac and Ivy's.
Oh, my
We didn't
gosh.
remember the Old South, though. Thank you for that.
Nick's Restaurant on Columbus Drive.
wow.
Thank you so much. Listen,
Man.
we'll be here every week, David, and we hope that you'll get a chance to call back as well.
Enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, brother.
David.
Appreciate it so much.
And you know, Mac and Ivy's had the best Italian
Oh,
sausage sandwiches.
Half the reason to go to the Florida State Fair
That's the
was
only reason
Mac
I went
and
to the fair
Ivy's.
every year was Mac and Ivy's.
Barbecue. And tell me the name of that barbecue place again.
Mario, I didn't write it down.
Oh, did you get it? The Old South.
Old South, that's right.
The
Okay.
Stage whisper from the 15-minute girl. You can't see her, but we can.
We were saved by the
Let's
bell.
Go. We got 2 calls, and
Okay.
we've got to get these 2 calls, and then
Let's get 'em.
we've got some other business to attend to.
Caller, you're on the air. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
John Joe
Hi, John.
Lakes.
Okay.
John, talk to us on the phone. Kind of don't pay attention to your TV for a minute because it's going to throw you off. There's a little bit of a delay.
All right.
And what was your favorite restaurant, John?
Locato's downtown.
Oh,
Locato's.
yes.
Basement.
That's
Yes, sir.
right.
Yes,
go,
sir.
go down the little stairway.
Yeah.
Wow. That brings back some memories. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was an old place down there.
Oh, yeah.
John, how'd you find out about the show?
Through my wife, through a friend of hers.
Excellent.
Word of mouth.
We'll be here every Wednesday. As the show winds down, we kind of got to condense everything on the phone. But listen, we hope that you get a chance to call back again. Thanks for the Licata reference. That was the first one of the night, and I'm surprised it took this long, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, thanks so much. That was great.
Call back again.
Thanks.
Thank you, John.
Downtown restaurant.
Here we go. Caller, you're on the air. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Hey, it's me again.
Oh, Dan.
Hey,
This
Dan.
has to be Dan Perez. Dan, we're going to let you be the last caller of the night. Well, we got line 5 lit up. Dan, quickly, what you need, baby?
I'd like to answer a couple of your questions.
Go first.
I knew you'd do it, Dan.
The Get and Go Drive-In, 4801 North Florida Avenue.
Wow.
Florida Avenue.
There it is.
Those are high water and Hillsborough Terriers you see in that picture.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. See?
I knew Dan would know.
That's Dan. That's Dan the man.
Pickford was owned by Casimiro Lisiak. He named it Pickford's for the actress, his favorite
For
actress.
Mary Pickford.
Wow.
Dan's
I never knew that.
So I thought you'd enjoy that.
Thank you, Dan.
Thanks,
Thank you so
Dan.
much. Appreciate the heads up on that.
Okay, bye.
Appreciate it.
You know, Dan Perez is just amazing.
Look at that. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
That's Lums.
Wow.
Okay. Oh, my gosh. Caller, you're on the air. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Tony.
Tony.
Hi, Tony.
How you doing?
Good.
Thank you. Where are you calling from?
Tampa.
Well, certainly Tampa. What part of Tampa?
South Tampa.
All right.
Okay.
Tell us your favorite dining experience memory.
Sea Breeze Restaurant on 22nd Street Causeway.
Sea Breeze. That's
Oh,
the first Sea Breeze
wow.
reference tonight. And again,
Yeah, because you were talking about Licata's over in Licata's own the Sea Breeze there on 22nd Street.
best deviled crabs in the world back then, huh?
Oh, absolutely.
That's what I think of.
Had the seating right there in the bar.
Absolutely. It was there for just up until the last decade. I mean,
Yeah.
we lost it maybe in the last 10 years.
Probably so. It kind of went down after his son passed away.
Yeah.
And it never was the same. I think
What a landmark,
That
though.
was an absolute landmark is the
landmark.
word I was going for. Tradition, whatever you want to call it. I mean, the place, my grandparents would go there, you know, from when I was the place had been there forever. Sorry to see that place go too.
Right.
Yeah, I know. Jukebox right there on the corner. It was just a phenomenal place.
Tony, how'd you find out about our show?
Audrey told me about it.
Oh,
you go.
nice.
Thank
Okay.
you, Audrey.
Okay.
Thanks,
Audrey.
Audrey,
Thanks,
for that.
Audrey. Hope you're watching.
Tony, do us a favor. Call back next week. We're going to have another topic. We'll disclose that midweek. Call back next week and thank Audrey for us as well, would you?
I will tell her, absolutely. All
Please
right.
do.
All right, you guys.
Appreciate the call,
Thank
Tony.
you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. We have
another
9.5 minutes.
Caller, you're on the air. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Kim Mueller, and I'm calling from Los Angeles.
Kim
Wow.
Mueller from L.A. Hi, Kim. It's
Hi, Kim.
Mario, and that's Steve.
Thanks for calling.
Audio, Steve, how are you? I finally got through. Can you believe it?
I'm glad.
I'm so glad, because for those of you that are out there in TV land, Kim and I have been talking back and forth on the computer through technology, and isn't it grand? And we were hoping that she'd be able to call in. Kim, how's the weather?
The weather is phenomenal. It's
Well, it's
68
LA.
degrees.
Yeah, it's L.A.
Wow.
Lucky you.
It's beautiful here. It's beautiful here. So how is everything going? I don't want to be redundant.
No, but listen,
No.
you call us and you tell us your favorite dining experience from the time we were kids. Go.
K-Pop Tree.
There you go,
That's a good one.
K-Pop Tree.
Has that already been?
No, you're the
that's
first one.
the first reference to K-Pop Tree.
K-Pop Tree, the old K-Pop Tree. The other thing I remember as a kid is Bo's ice cream.
Ooh.
Still there today.
Yeah.
Still there today.
Is it really?
That's
Oh, yeah.
one of those places that has been there forever and remains. There's a few others. There's a few others, and Bo's certainly is one of them. I think it's even the same family that owns it. But yeah, how can we forget Bo's on Florida Avenue?
You can't.
Absolutely.
That's a classic.
Yeah,
Oh.
it is. Kim, thanks for calling, sweetie. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Have a
Kim.
great night.
I'm so glad you got through. You're not watching us, but you are listening to us. Yes.
Driving in this wonderful traffic.
Okay.
Wow.
Be careful. 2 hands on the wheel.
Take care.
All right. Bye, Kim.
Bye.
Thanks for calling.
Bye.
That was a great
We
call.
got to get this call, and then we
Yes.
have about 8 minutes to go. Hi, caller. We're going to let this be the last caller of the night. Caller, you're on the air. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Yes, this is Hugh. I'm calling from South Tampa.
Hi, Hugh.
Hello, Hugh.
And there was a place called the Shanty, which was on Grand Central, which was renamed John F. Kennedy. The Shanty was a little bit east of Howard Avenue, and it was a kind of not a fancy building. It was like concrete block, and it was the floors inside were concrete, and there were posts, but it was some of the most delicious home-cooked food. I used to go with my mom and dad when I was a kid, and it was some of the most delicious home-cooked food that you could ever get.
Shanty.
The Shanty.
Thank you, Hugh. Thank you for that reference. We certainly appreciate it. And listen, you call back next week, would you?
Sure will.
Please
Thank you.
do.
Thanks, Hugh.
Thanks for watching, too.
Steve, we got to do a couple of things before we get out of here. We're
We
getting
do.
kind of
We're
close
getting
on
close.
time.
We sure
so
are.
listen, It's that time. We're going to draw that lucky number. We have 2 contestants this week. Now listen, for those of you out there in TV land that are watching us, if you send us an email, we implore you. We ask of you with heavy hearts. Send us a number. Attach a number. Your favorite number, 1 to 75, and then we'll draw, like we're going to do right now. Stevie, get ready. We're going to draw a ball out of this bag. And hopefully, it'll be closest to your number without going over. We've got 2 contestants this week, Miss Lori Cooper and Big Mike Pedrinin. Go ahead, Stevie, give it a go.
Okay, I got
and the
one.
lucky number is, read it out, Steve.
50.
The lucky number is 50. Lori Cooper, you are our lucky draw winner this week. Tell them what she's won, Johnny. She's won this fabulous 8x10 already framed picture, courtesy of Mr. Johnny Sinchett, with that picture of Ayers Diner, that picture of Burger Queen, Cut Rate Liquors, the Pizza Parlor, and Dairy Queen. Look fabulous. It's ready to go on your wall, or you can set it on your coffee table. But Lori, you need to write us, send us an email to give us your address, because we need to be able to know where to tell the postman to deliver this. So Lori, if you're out there watching, or if anybody's out there who knows Lori, tell Lori she's won. And this is what she's won. It's beautiful.
And thank you, Johnny Sinchett, for offering this picture for us. And that's great. In fact, I want that, Mario.
Well, no, you can't have it. Lori won it. Now, next week, we're going to give away this Tampa Bay Rays T-shirt that says Rays Baseball on it. Okay? We're going to support our team because they're in New York right now in a rain delay. But listen, if you'd like to have this shirt, we'd like to send it to you. So we're asking, send us an email. Steve, the show's great. Mario, your hair's terrific. Okay? And let us know. Send us your lucky number, 1 to 75. 1 to 75. We'll draw a ball out next week. Here's the lucky one. Number 50.
Number 50. It's hard to see.
Lori, you want... Hey, I got a question for my sidekick here. Steve, you got any... Steve, you got any plans this weekend?
You know I do, Mario.
Well, what are you going to do?
I'm going to go to the beach.
You're going to the beach?
Yeah.
What beach are you going to?
I'm going to Paso Grill.
Hey, I know where Pastor Grill is. Where are you going to be setting up?
You know, it's about right next to this big, tall, 3-story restaurant.
I know where that restaurant is. Where are you going to be, like across the street from that restaurant?
We'll be right next to it with myself and a bunch of Tampa natives.
Bunch of Tampa natives?
Yeah.
Hey, do you mind if I go?
Not a bit.
You mind if I bring some friends along?
Not a bit.
Well, hey, then I'll tell you what. What time are you going to be there?
I'll be there from 9 a.m. to about 2 p.m.
You by yourself?
No, me and a bunch of Tampa natives.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to activate the phone tree when I get home. I'm going to send out some emails. You get ready, because you're going to have some friends there with you.
Okay, good.
9 to 2 on Sunday. I got it.
Good, good.
I'll
Glad
be
you're
there.
going.
No, well, listen, I wouldn't miss it. If you're going to be there, I'm going to be there. I'm going to tell you right now. So we want to make sure, after that little impassioned plea, we want to make sure that everybody knows how much we appreciate you being there as our viewers. And you can see the graphics just keep getting better and better. This is Burger Chef. This is on North Florida Avenue. It's a 2-for-1 here, because if you look at the bottom of that, just underneath the sign where it says Merry Christmas to all, even McDonald's, which is fabulous. There's even a second restaurant there that's no longer with us. That's the High Tide Fish and Chips.
Right behind
But I want to also draw your eye to that phone booth.
I just noticed
that. I want to draw your eye to that, because can anybody tell me what happened to phone booths? What happened to public phones? How about that? They should still have phone booths for people that are walking around the streets with cell phones to be able to get out of the weather. What do you think?
Oh, I think it's great. I love that Merry Christmas to all, even McDonald's.
Even
McDonald's.
McDonald's.
That's funny, actually.
Burger Chef is instead of McDonald's. No, we got your back. We got your number.
Did you see the other picture, the 42nd Street station?
That was terrific.
That was a lot of memories there.
I know. We didn't acknowledge it. We should have, because it was a sink or swim. I think on the sign.
Swim.
There it is.
There it is.
Look at our director, Jeffrey.
I mean,
He's
they
right
had
on time. Look at our director.
He's good.
Read that real quick, Steve.
Philly steak, salad bar, pizza, deli sandwiches. Year of the Philly steak sandwich, $1.50.
$1.50. And how about those drafts?
Does that say 5-cent draft?
5-cent drafts.
Or 50-cent draft?
With food. But you had to have food. How about that
one? Well, no wonder it was called sink or swim.
That's pretty amazing stuff. I know we've got one more graphic here that's going to come up in a minute that everybody's going to be really pleased to see. It's probably our last graphic. And that's the one we wanted everybody to see.
Salute and happy day.
Ladies and gentlemen, that would be the great Manuel Bureau and Andy Hardy. And who doesn't remember Salute and Happy Days 3,962 times just before Shock Armstrong and Shock Theater on Friday nights?
Oh, I mean, I do. I know we all do.
Now, if that doesn't... Left hand. If that doesn't... Left hand.
Oh.
Like the guy.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
There we go.
Yeah, like the guy. Our director's talking to us. You can't hear him, but we can hear him. Andy Hardy and Manuel Barrow, the great Manuel Barrow and Andy Hardy. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, as we come to a close this week, we just want to thank everybody out there for participating. We had to cut the calls off a little bit short. We hate to do that because we've got some business to attend to at the end of the show. We want to make sure we give away our lucky prize winner, and we want to make sure that we tell you about any upcoming events that might be planned. And Steve's got one planned this weekend on Sunday. He's going to the beach, apparently.
And we want to tell everybody to keep calling, keep watching, and keep reminiscing, too. And
any last-minute emails before we get out of here?
You know, we got one from Joseph Abin.
Come on, Joseph Abin, he's watching. Give him a shout
and
out.
he said he used to like the Redwood Inn on Nebraska, Frisch's Big Boy on North Florida Avenue.
Atta boy.
And, of course, he mentioned Bo's as well.
Okay.
And let's see. Yeah, so he mentioned those three restaurants were his favorites.
Well, Joseph was a Hillsborough High School baseball standout, so
that's right.
That was his stomping grounds. Well, listen, send us those emails and make sure you include your lucky number. We're going to keep coming back until we get this right. Steve and I are very touched and you know, terribly excited at the response that we've received from everybody out there in the community. We're going to continue to do that. We had lunch today with some of our dear friends at a nice Italian bistro. We hope to be able to do some more of that. Franny, thank you for organizing that little get-together this afternoon.
Right. And also feel free to email during the week. Doesn't have to be during the show. But email show@tampanatives.com, and feel free to give us any feedback or maybe suggestions for topics. Share your, send pictures. If you have any pictures out there, that'd be great. Yeah, maybe kind of dig through your photo albums, and maybe there's some real gems in there, some real treasures. So please send them to us.
Thank you all once again. Steve, what a great show.
Awesome.
Great show. Calls nonstop. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for sharing your experiences of growing up in Tampa. Like I said, we'll be here next week. Until then.
Exactly.
Salute and happy days.
Salute and happy day. Thank you.
Thank you.